'Tis Memorial Day weekend. It's Friday. I am without a child tonight and tomorrow. I mean, I have a child. She's physically not here tonight and tomorrow night. The missus is on her way home. That bike's already out. That one's gonna come out. We're gonna have fun. I mean, I might put them away because of, anyway, I might not wait until she gets home to have a cocktail. And if that's the case, then the truck doesn't fall over when I've, not to make light of drunk driving, don't do it. But you know what I mean. The 250 doesn't, you know, if you've had a drink or 17. I spent the morning, well, first off, I got a great question about like moto camping and specifically camping at Sturgis. So we're just gonna do that real quick. So if you were, just email me. And, oh, before I forget, before I get into that, bear with me. I'm not the smartest dude. I spent the morning rolling around on my bike. Whenever you have to run an errand where the thing you need to get is saddlebag size, I'm so happy because, you know, you're just rolling around, going from floor to idiot's place to floor to idiot's place because they don't have the right thing. This golf cart has a Kawasaki motor in it, and I got to change the Earl. It's a year old. It doesn't have a bunch of hours on it, but it's a year old, and you're supposed to do that. And it's the original oil that came in it when I bought it, so I'm going to change the oil in it. And they hide that this is a Kawasaki motor. Like, it's not easy to find the part number for the friggin' oil filter. It's stupid. So I ended up going to the dealer, and I don't know what I paid for it. I don't want to know. And to get an oil filter. And on the way back, I was like, I'm gonna stop by the local brewery and pick up some good, you know, local brews. They have some good IPAs and Gozas, I was told, stuff like that. And they're not open till 3 p.m. So it's sort of like, not today, Satan. You know, I can't have any beer. So I guess I won't be drinking today. Beer. So, happy Memorial Day weekend. Before I lose this train of thought, keep in mind what this is all about. You know, yes, I'm making jokes, I'm laughing, I'm having a good time, but there's a whole lot of people that I said, did a post where I said that, and it spoke to me, this idea that, you know, as you're sitting around with your friends and family, remember those who never got home to theirs. I can't speak more about that, but that's just something to think about for Memorial Day weekend. And you might be laughing at my hat. I wore this on a live stream recently, and you guys gotta one-up me every time. Oh, that's tasty. Primes the pump, gets you going for a holiday weekend. I'll be back for you later. I wore this on a live stream. Had this hat forever. It's typically a hat I only wear at rallies. And Possum, God love him, I'm not gonna say his real name. Possum's his road name. We email all the time. He's a good old Southern boy and reminds me of, you know, some of my cousins and uncles from northern Arkansas, southern Missouri. Same kind of sense of humor. We laugh a lot via email. And he enjoyed my hat on the live stream and said, I'm sending you a present. And it came yesterday. He sent me a beaver. A real beaver. I'm telling you what, this is the nicest beaver I've ever petted. I mean, it's smooth and soft and silky. And when I say it's a beaver, his friggin' nose holes are in there. I mean, like, that's how you hang it, from his nose holes. Poor little dude, but man, that's nice. Anyway, so what's a beaver among friends? You just pass this around. You know, it's for everyone to share. Everyone shares the beaver. That'll be at Sturgis, no doubt. But completely lost my train of thought. Got my oil filter, came home, and then planned on doing a video about like ego stuff. I watched recently, just a few days ago, Bronco Ride, another YouTuber, had sent me a link saying, check this dude out, he's gonna be on his live stream. So this Sunday on Bronco Ride's channel, Wild on 2, I think is the name of his channel, I'll link down below. Dude does some really good videos on like in-depth, position by position MC stuff. So he has a video on the Sergeant at Arms, on the Vice President of the President. It's really good stuff. And I can happily say, not that I'm an expert, no more than most idiots, but I'm not an expert, but he's been right on every single thing he said. So good on you, brother. Down in San Antonio. He did a video where he talks about people earning patches in clubs. And again, mine is not a club, it's an organization, it's different. But isn't because of our structure and whatnot. And he talked about dudes that are, well, he uses a different word. I'm not gonna go that far down the road. Once an asshole, always an asshole, basically is what he says. Like, if someone's an ass, as soon as you patch them, they're not gonna like get better. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna get worse. And I was listening, I go, that's so true. But the one that I was like, the biggest, most painful thing that annoys the piss out of me isn't that. It's not like the jerk guy who's an asshole and then you patch him and he's still an asshole because you knew he was an asshole up front. Like, did he do wrong or did you do wrong by empowering that dude and giving him that patch? There's something to think about. But the dude that I want to choke, throttle, throat punch, and put at the bottom of a canal is the guy that hides it, who is dutiful and dedicated and a great prospect, member, whatever your organization calls. Mine calls them supporters. I know that means something else in someplace else. Ours are supporters until they're patched. And you know, during their training, I'm speaking from my situation, so if it doesn't make sense to you, I'm talking about my planet. During their training, during their online classes, during their mentor sessions, as they're working with a sponsor, as they're going through this, they are dutiful and, you know, yes, oh, I understand, and they do their best, and they show up early, and they stay late, and they do everything you're supposed to do, and you're like, wow, that's a solid dude or woman. And then they earn a patch. In our case, it's a minimum 15 months, really, more like 18 to 2 years, and that's assuming you're not an asshole. Because that's one thing I think we're pretty good at, is like, if you're an asshole, I say asshole a lot in this video, ain't happening. Like, we're gonna run you off. Like, you know, we've done it where we're like, I can just tell you this isn't a fit for you, and you know, whatever. But if you hide it real well, and then the day comes where you've earned your rag, your set, your whatever your organization calls it. In our case, it's your patch. Once you've earned that, then the real you comes out, and the ego just explodes out of your body like a fucking alien. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I've had a little more whiskey than what you saw. But, and that's when you change, and now that you're patched, it's real hard to get rid of you. It's easy to get rid of a supporter or a prospector or whatever. Not so hard to get rid of a patch. So when someone's a member of an organization, if they show their ass after the fact, that just burns me up, man. Like, it just drives me nuts that you were great until you earned it. Now all of a sudden everything changed. You're not as dedicated, but your ego's so big you think you know everything, and just, you know, you suddenly are turning to supporters and talking smack to them, and why don't you go wash my bike, and that kind of, which those of you out there who are losing their minds, I agree with you. That drives me nuts too. That's not what, at least that's not what we're all about. There's work to be done, damn it. Anyway, so Wild on 2, hell of a good video. But I just want to add in that little piece about the dude who acts the act for a long time and then all of a sudden earns a rag and is like, now he's just the greatest dude that's ever lived. You know, I just fucking hate that guy. Anyway, so on to the question that I received today that I thought was real good. As the dude said, I'm thinking about Sturgis. So you may have seen, I did a whole series on Sturgis. That's what started this channel. Was like, I did one on where to stay, and I talked about campgrounds and hotels and Airbnbs and shit, and like where to eat, my favorite place to eat. I'll put a link to that playlist down there. Where to grab a drink, vendors. I did one on vendors and my favorite rides and stuff. So there's a lot. This is like 5. Yeah. Hang on a minute. There's like 5 videos in that series. Oh, it's so tasty. Gives you good breath too. Fireball, no relationship. Should be though. I'm their unofficial spokesperson. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so I did a whole series on that. I put a link down below. But this dude said, what if I'm not sure? I live close enough to make it for a day or two. How realistic is it to put together a last minute Sturgis trip? And I was like, that's a great topic. And then he actually wrote in his email, now do that voodoo that you do. I expect to see the video. And I'm like, let's do it. That's fun. And I can kind of shoot from the hip on that one. You can absolutely do an unplanned Sturgis trip. I mean, like, you know, whatever planning you need and like put your underwear in a bag, that's on you. But you can totally rock up with no reservations anywhere or anything. And you can make this happen if you're a tenter. Yes, the one dude said, is they make a tent small enough for a bike? Of course they have. They have forever. They have those ones that are like, whoosh, you like flip them out and there you go. You can easily, I mean, if you got the right bike with the right gear and the right space. This guy right here doesn't have a tour pack, but I got, you know, a back seat, a luggage rack, one of them big ass ugly luggage racks, the big wide ones, and a sissy bar. If you got a big ass luggage rack and a sissy bar and a back seat and some saddlebags, you can make some stuff happen. I've made miracles happen where, you know, you've got a tent, and my tent's big. A tent, either just blankets rolled up, an air bed. I've got an air bed that fits in one of them bags, I know from experience. You know, underwear, and let's just say you don't bring a whole lot of jeans with you, because let's be honest, I wear the same ones a lot when I'm up there. They pretty much stand on their own after a couple days. When they do that, you're like, oh, them are crusty. Then I change out to my like second, maybe third pair. The fact that I now go on an RV makes things different. I load that sucker in a couple days before, and I'm luxurious. I have a toaster in my RV. Anyway, not like an invitation. I'm not inviting you all for toast. But you can get all that stuff on your bike. You can get everything you need for you know, a couple nights on a bike, and you can just show up. So, short story long, if you show up to Glencoe or any of them, I'm just going to use the Buffalo Chip as an example. I swear to God, I have no relationship at all with them, and they could tell me to go kiss their ass. I mean, they probably would, because they're like big and whatnot. But I've stayed there a bunch of times, both in rented RVs and tents. And you can just roll up to the Buffalo Chip, walk right up there, and buy a pass. The Buffalo Chip is so big, they're not going to run out of space. I mean, like, there's going to be huge areas with no one around that you can throw a tent. Not a problem. Actually, in my experience, when I would leave out last year, and I kept looking down into valleys and seeing nobody. And I don't mean valleys that fill with rain. I mean, like, just see some nice valleys where you can see Bear Butte and stuff going, why did no one put their tent there? Like, you use your bike to get into closer to everybody, so whatever. But you rock up, and now it's going to be more expensive. Should you call now or go online now and buy your pass? Yeah, because it just gets more and more expensive. I'm not sure. Someone comment down below, if you show up last minute, what's your full boat price for a rally pass? I bet it's $400 or more. You know, I paid $350 for mine for an extended rally pass, and that was a long time ago. I booked mine. I might book mine next year while I'm there this year. I'm told you get a deal. I don't know if you book while you're there. I'm told you get a really good deal. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, you can rock up and get your $400 pass, or you can do night by night. I think when you get there, like the week of the rally, I think they get $100 a night. And that's just admission. You know, like, you're in there now. That does get you access to all the concerts and all that stuff. But inside, there's like everything you freaking need. There's food. There's, you know, Bond Arms is there showing you the latest Derringers. There's knife vendor, everything you've ever wants in there. Lots of good food, actually, decent food. There's laundry facilities and everything. And shower houses are free. It's part of your, you can even upgrade and buy like an upgraded shower house pass for like $75 or something like that. And that gets you, I don't know what it includes. I had bought them one year for the wife and I, because I thought we were going to be tent camping, and we ended up taking my dad's rig, my dad's RV, so I gave them to a friend. He said they were great, but I wasn't in there, so I can't tell you what they're like, but it's like a private shower house. There's porta potties and bathrooms everywhere. You know, it's a primitive camp experience, but you can roll up, you know, walk up and get your pass, go on in, you're good to go. I know Glencoe's the same way. Glencoe's about the same price. If you're looking for the wild clothing optional partying, that's where Glencoe is. That's the only downside with the Chip. Like, the security just doesn't let you be naked. Not that I'm going to be. No one's. I'm going to change topics. No, they're not going to happen. But Glencoe does. And then there's a bunch of other places. But I can only speak from experience on the Chip, and or kickstands. Kickstands is a good deal out here too. And you can just, you know, rock up, throw up your tent, good to go. So you do not have to plan a trip to the Chip to Sturgis. You can just make your you don't have to make a reservation. You just roll up and go. That's all I got for today. The Pro Monkey Chopper comes home Monday. That's the plan. I heard from my buddy. My buddy's a captain. That's why we call him Captain. Anyway, Captain's out on a trip this weekend on the water, captaining. And then he gets back on Sunday, and on Monday, he's just bought a new pickup truck. He's bound and determined to bring it to me. Good dude. So he's gonna bring the chopper here Monday and do a video. He's a cigar nut, so he's got a channel called, brand new, called the Hillbilly Hangout Cigar Club. And he's gonna bring the chopper here, and she's gonna go right here, and then I'm gonna be broke. Leaving for Sturgis in a couple weeks with a chopper in my hands, and I will not be able to just sit there and look at. It needs a battery. It needs a back tire for like to live. The front tire also, it needs fork oil. Motor hadn't been serviced in a decade, so that's gonna need all that. And I wanna get her running and riding before I even start tearing it down. And the tank needs to be cleaned out, so vinegar's gotta be sloshed around in there for a while. I wanna get her running and riding because when I tear it down and put it back together, I wanna know that it ran when I tore it down. That's my logic. Let me know down below if you think if you disagree, but I just want to know that it should be running, you know, when I put it back together, so I'm not trying to diagnose what went wrong where. That's really it. Next Friday, which I think is June the 5th, is our next live stream. If you're new to the channel, again, welcome. You need to join us because that's really where this channel took off. Is we have like 500, 600, 700 people hanging out, talking smack, having a good time, having lots of drinks and being inappropriate. And I have a lot of fun on a lot of live streams. I have an absolute blast on ours. So come on, join us, have a drink. If you want to help out with the Pro Monkey Chopper, just go buy a sticker or something. Professional-monkey.com and go buy a sticker or a t-shirt or 19, and that's going to help fund that. The Blue Waffles, what I've named it. So it's the Blue Waffle until I redo it, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna call from there. So take care of each other out there. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Remember why we had this weekend, and we'll all talk soon. Bye.